So this was very early on when I was making videos. So if you notice anything weird or off a little bit, this was very early on. But I thought I would play this after, because not many people knew about this. And it's just interesting. It's about Venezuela.
Okay, so I wanted to show y'all with this stuff that's going on with Nicolas Maduro. Um, so up here, and I got this on Florida Marquee, but found it online too afterwards. So read what they're saying, what he said. Reliable that called me that combined a meeting I did not want to go to because I am lazy, but I went and heard them, and they told me on Saturday they would try to with drones, and we tested the drones on.
Caracas.
I told them to do it. Let's go forward. But if it happens, they thinking if this happens, I buy them.
A drone
I
more.
buy them a drone. Warn. Be prepared to, because the group that is conspiring, my friends, are people.
Quite competent. Already took a
First
first.
scare are going to come over. Why? And it's raining. It's a storm right now, so if y'all hear it, I have a I have good friends in Washington in the White House. I know from very sources,
I think it's supposed to be
probably
various.
reliable that you bought is going to get.
So I'll go ahead and mute this. In Venezuela will not intervene. No, no, no. Will take any courageous and flight. I can't see it from here. To emancipate. I can't see it. That oppress people. Not is going to happen. Then the gringos are going to try to help the rebels. Venezuela, but this is a problem that they have to fix their own. Now Venezuela in there, if with the technology help from the gringos that seem to me, of course, very plausible that is what this has occurred failure, and not because of lack of experience. I think it's supposed to be not for lack of courage of the conspirators did not play life. Many of them are still in Venezuela. This one is a conspiracy, and others will come. Who authors are all men of honor, men, military, policemen, in military, the former Venezuela police officer, but he is a conspiracy of intellect, and I can't even say it. And here I show this. Let's see. That's when the drone makes the first noise. That's when they're alerted. Watch this. This is when it comes into sight. You see those people spreading? That's where the first one fell. This is a long video, it's 20 minutes, but there's the drone. These are highly sophisticated drones. It can carry up to 100 pounds on it. It's what they use in movies. That's how sophisticated these are. Just so y'all know. And that guy admitted to playing a part in it. So at the same time, then I come over here. What's the first thing that comes up on the screen? A grim-faced Tillerson stood alongside Trump the next day at his New Jersey golf course at Bedminster. As the president warned to his theme, "We have many options for Venezuela. This is our neighborhood. We are all over the world, and we have troops all over the world in places that are very, very far away. Venezuela is not very far away, and the people are suffering and dying. We have many options for Venezuela, including possible military options if necessary." The White House announced later it had refused to take a call with Maduro. The Venezuelan defense minister, Vladimir Podran, described Trump's threats as an act of craziness and supreme extremism. In the weeks that followed, Trump remained preoccupied with the idea of invasion, according to the AP, shortly after Bedminster remarks he raised. Considering these criticisms, we strongly insist that Russian citizens carefully weigh up all the risks when planning trips abroad, the foreign minister said. It said more than 10 Russians have been detained in foreign countries and with U.S. involvement since 2017. By way of example, it pointed to at least 4 Russians arrested on U.S. cybercrimes charges in Spain, Latvia, and Greece. U.S. action against suspected Russian cybercriminals surged to a record high last year. 7 Russians were arrested or indicted in 2017 in the United States and abroad, compared to an average of 2 a year in the preceding 6 years.
Try and get.
Let's see. Donald Trump reportedly raised the possibility of invading Venezuela in talks with his top aides at the White House, according to new reports. Trump brought up the subject of invasion in August last year, saying, "We have many options for Venezuela, including military options if necessary," but the president musing about the possibility of a U.S. invasion were more extensive than the public declaration, according to the Associated Press. The previous day, Trump reportedly took his top officials by surprise in an Oval Office meeting, asking why the U.S. could not intervene to remove the government of Nicolas Maduro on the grounds that Venezuela's political and economic unraveling represents a threat to the region. So, we were talking about this earlier last night. Sorry about that. A lot of people are misinformed about this. People think it's the economy down there in Venezuela, that they don't have a strong economy. They have the most oil reserves in world history, or world record. You think they might be wanting to go down there for that. By the way, that's where we get our oil from. Everybody talks about, oh, we're drilling oil here in America. Yeah, we don't get that. Not anymore. They send that to the highest bidder. Before this last year, we had first come, first serve. We were priority. By the way, that's why we had the gas shortage in, I forgot, the 60s or 70s, where you had to get, like, the crazy thing is that they would put up colors. Instead of telling you the price of the gas, they would put up colors so that you knew, like, red would be like evens, and green would be like odds. And sometimes it went by like your last name, like A through G, it would be this day, and G through Z, it would be this day that you could get gas. And the reason that we want to go down there so bad is so that we can keep gas prices low, because otherwise it's going to skyrocket. And everything that's happened in Saudi Arabia, y'all do realize the reason that they're wanting to spread so badly to Iran is because they have oil. And it's a proxy war, of course. And they want to run that line up to Europe. Russia does. Then, but they're trying to build other things. Like, they're trying to build a train in the Middle East that goes down to Africa. And this new city that they are, I forgot, it's in Saudi Arabia, or it's gonna be a new government that I forgot where it's at. I think it's like near a beach or the ocean. But what it is and every country is putting money into this. It's going to be like a free trade capital. And all this technology is going there. China has put in like billions of dollars into this. And basically it's going to be the city of the future. And a bunch of people. And it's not Dubai either. It's going to be like it's going to be its own state, basically. And they're going to try and run this, how do you say it? This surveillance state. Like, we think that we're surveilled to a crazy amount. No. They're going to have cameras on every, like, 15 feet. So that you're never out of sight of a camera. And since it'll be considered a new country, they can pass whatever laws they want. They can have, you can have no privacy at all. Like, they could, seriously, they could put cameras in your house. I mean, I have a camera right here because I was like, well, if they're gonna watch me on the stuff that I do on my phone, what's the difference from a camera? That's why I was like, well, I'll just start doing videos then. Because the only difference between me doing a video and me reading it and putting it out to y'all so other people know the stuff that I'm reading is putting a camera and a microphone. That's it. Because I was reading this stuff before. But a lot of the stuff that's happened with Venezuela has to do with oil. The proxy war with Iran, they've always wanted oil that's there. The rights to the oil reserves in certain parts of Iran have already been sold off to the Rothschilds. The Rothschilds own oil reserves, property that they don't have the right to have. And there's a reason why Iran hates us so much. We put a CIA approved like president in charge, and then they overtook him, or they overthrew him. But I don't know if y'all know this, but Venezuela, until real recently, they didn't have to pay for gas. It was considered Venezuela's. The money, like in Alaska, you know how Alaska gets like $1,500 a year from oil rights. Like each adult gets like $1,500 a year if you live in Alaska. Well, that's how it was with Venezuela. But they weren't getting the money back. The gas was just free. So, and I forgot when it was, but the protesting all started when they had to pay money for oil or for gas. I forgot when it was, but they were like protest in the streets, and that's where this all started from. That's when the economy started going down, because so what happened when, I forgot who was before Maduro, but the president before him, or dictator, how everybody wants to say, it was probably a dictator, but he was working with the United States. So they brought in these big companies like what is that, the pear or whatever, you see the little sticker, it says Moto or whatever. They came in, all these GMO companies that like are cereal and stuff like that. They come in and they picked off the land when they were in a recession, in their type of recession, and they bought up all the land, so everybody had to go and live in the city. So yes, it is part of the problem is that they don't have any jobs. But the reason they don't have any jobs is because they let the world, they let people outside of the country come in and buy their land, and they're not selling it back to the people of Venezuela. So all these people that were farmers and everything, and they were doing all types of stuff to the farmers that stayed, but there's no products that are Venezuela besides oil. And of course they lowballed the crap out of the employees that would work at these farms that were worldwide companies, and they'd lowball the crap out of them, and to the point that nobody was, so it kept our prices down on our food that we'd get there. Like I did a video on this a couple months ago. I think it was crab meat. So there was a warning that went out, people got sick from crab meat. And you know how they keep saying everybody's starving and everything like that. The military is not starving. They made a trade deal with Russia for weapons, and so far Venezuela has not had to pay anything. So if we, like I showed y'all earlier, if we would have hit with that drone strike, Russia is already on the ground there. You don't think that would have started a war? We avoided a war by somebody not being good with joysticks. And they keep saying that it's rebels. It's not rebels. It's Colombian forces that are trying to take them out. And if you look at it, see how much money we're sending down to Colombia. And they talk about Colombia or Venezuela being this cesspool and everything, and a shithole, basically. So if you look at it, Venezuela per capita, remember, it's a terrible place to live. Everybody's starving and everything. Military's not. Go look at the per capita murders, assaults, and sexual acts of violence, however you would put it. Colombia's the worst in South America. Not Venezuela, but we're sending $500 million to Colombia, which is right next to Venezuela. The crazy thing is, all these, by the way, if Panama, that's where we ship everything through, is through Panama to be able to get over to China and get it from the East Coast to the West Coast, is the Panama Canal, which the U.S. government did own for a portion, and they gave it back to Panama. But Panama does not have an army. I mean, they do, but the army is only for Panama Canal. So anytime anybody wants to take over that stops our products from coming from East Coast to West Coast, and they would have to go on freight, on train, to get it over to the East Coast or to the West Coast to ship it overseas. And China, if China wanted us to bankrupt us, they would just attack that. But one thing people don't know about Panama is that in Panama City, or Panama, I keep saying Panama City, but in Panama, for the Panama Canal, guess who works on the tugboats? Venezuelans. So Venezuela gets attacked, or if they're like, okay, y'all are giving us tons of money to do this, but y'all are tearing down our country, screw this. Panama Canal will be shut down for at least a couple weeks, which will make everything go skyrocket. All of our goods, all of our cheap goods that we have will skyrocket. And the computer would shut down or whatever. But everything will go down bad. And I know y'all are like probably thinking, oh, it's just boats. Yeah, it's just boats, but they're the people that are trained there so it doesn't destroy the Panama Canal. They're small enough tugboats that are pulling them out that we just don't have to send down there right away without killing trade in another part of the country. We would have to build new tugboats. Whiskey girl. So I just wanted y'all to think about that next time that y'all hear Alex Jones say that it's a socialist country. Yeah, it's socialist because the same thing that they're trying to do here is what they did there. He is correct. They are trying to do that here. But the problem is, it's these big ass companies that come in, pay good money at first so everybody thinks it's a good thing, kind of like Amazon, for their workers. Then they start lowballing them when they become number one. It's a very smart plan, because Amazon has knocked out every company that they've gone against. They bought out Whole Foods. People are traumatized that work at Whole Foods now, so do work at Amazon. You know that these drivers that come and deliver our packages, they do. Some people report so you can have a half day or a full day. Sometimes the half day, which is supposed to be 4 hours, like you do it after you get off work or something, and just instead of sitting at home doing nothing, you go drive and pick up stuff and drop stuff off. I think they said it's like $55 or something like that, or 60. But you put in gas, they don't pay you for gas. And then whiskey, hush. So they don't pay for gas. And then sometimes the 4-hour job turns into an 8.5-hour job. And if you don't get it done, that's one thing that's knocked off of your not resume, but your employment. And you're not an employee. You're basically an independent contractor, even if you do it every day for years. So they don't have healthcare. They don't have any of this stuff. And Amazon, I don't know if people know this, but they recently had they have a new store that opened. It's a physical convenience store. No clerks, no nothing. It's all automatic. You scan the stuff as you're walking through, then it charges you. It's very futuristic, but also they're getting away from having physical employees. And the crazy thing is, if you get something like you get toothpaste and you don't like it, and you want to take it back or something, they let you keep it instead of taking it back, because they don't want to have people to physically have to put everything back in order and do the returns and all that. It's so crazy. It has cameras all over it and everything. I know I'm going all over the place in this video, and it's probably longer than 21 minutes. But if you got this far, please hit like, share, subscribe, and hopefully more people will know about this. It's not something, and I'm going off the top of my head. After I read all this stuff, I'm going off the top of my head. It's disturbing. We could have went to war because we want oil. And this isn't just this president that's wanted to go into Venezuela. It's ever since Reagan. And remember, Venezuela helped us so much in World War II. And this is how we repay them. It's ridiculous. But y'all have a good night, or a good day. Have a doctor's appointment later to find out what kind of surgery I'm having. Or if I'm having surgery. I think it's most likely I am having surgery. I've done all the physical therapy I can. Still have no feeling in anything but my index finger most of the time. And then tomorrow's my birthday and Thanksgiving. But I will make videos. If I get some new things, like even something like a better signal in my room, I'll share it with y'all. So be safe if you're traveling for Thanksgiving. Take care of yourself, and hopefully that more people find out about this. And just so that you know, when people are bullshitting all the time, it's something that we can't, even if I just read it and you just read it, the people that are watching, it's good to know about it, but it's depressing that it's not going to be something that goes around the nation so people will know about it. This is the stuff that pisses me off because the Q stuff is a puppet. They don't tell you anything. It's the mainstream media. It's just mainstream media. It's Fox News extreme. And it's ridiculous because they don't say anything that the mainstream media doesn't. And then they have this hot musket bullshit that Mark Fugel, you pissed me off for the last time. And I know you watch my videos. Dude, do one thing. Be honest. Be honest. I could have a big channel like yours if I did the Q crap, how you had Nemos on, and you stayed right down the middle, but you went on his side because he was on your show. It's good to be nice to the people that you have on your show, but blind faith in the person, and that's what you've done. I've talked to you since January. I've talked to you since January. You had that one blow up on me because you thought that me and Tony were going to stop going to your channel because you lied about something. Or you pitted Union Rockers and Marfugals. You pitted them against each other. I told you then, even in the blow up thing, that we had the DMs that I can't find now, or I deleted them because it depressed the hell out of me that somebody was that nasty in a tweet. When I was trying to be nice and not be public with you and tell you that, yes, Uni has asked you to come on several times. In fact, I was one of the people that said, why don't you get Murph on? He said, oh, okay, awesome. And I know what you used to do. You used to come in, type a couple times, listen. You weren't in the chat. Unirock sometimes does type in the chat when he's playing stuff, when he's playing videos. And he typed back to you. You were listening, you weren't watching. So you have no clue. And he acknowledged you. Unirock's, you know how it is with live streams and chats. That's why Dark Journalist has somebody that's there, that's watching the chat. Anything that comes up on topic that is physically there with them, be like, hey, look at this. That's why Unirock has Unirage. She does a great job with that. Anytime I need something to tell Uni, I try and get a hold of her. It's not something that... Oh, whiskey. She sneezed loud. But the stuff that you saw that you became an LLC, that's interesting. And you always said that anybody could use your stuff, and then on your video, which is the most viral video that you have, basically, you have copyright labels all over it. And then I went down to look and see like how I could play it to send the stuff out before I looked into it for myself and talked to friends friends that work at Lockheed, friends that work at Reese, friends that are in the military, that are in the Air Force, that are serving right now, that are at home and haven't had an order come in. Tried to tell you this. It sucks that every time I've tried to tell you something, it gets ignored. And this isn't me like all bitter because it got ignored. I'm bitter because you just read what was in front of your eyes. You didn't research it. You listened to what other people were saying. You didn't look into it. And I know it becomes really hard to not look into stuff when you have so much crap coming at you. I used to get those emails and messages on Facebook. I'm still in y'all's group. Still talk to everybody in the group. Only person I don't talk to is Tony. Because when I was talking to Tony, all of a sudden my email got hacked. My email that's not even attached to my Facebook or Twitter got hacked. So I stopped talking to him. Because he was sending stuff that was unconfirmed. And I'd look it up and it'd be like, okay, it's not true. It's a conspiracy. Instead of going, hey, I think this happened. Tell me what you're thinking. Don't send me something that, if you want to guide me to something, you don't send the article that I can go and look up everything and be like, oh, interesting. It took me less than 5 minutes to debunk this. But people were wanting me to, not only Tony, more people than just Tony wanted me to do stuff on it. Do videos on it. I kept getting contacted on Facebook, Twitter, in my messages or in my comments to cover stuff. Cover stuff before it became big. And like before the Cappy stuff, I had a comment and it looked like it was a copy and paste. And I put it in, held it in review and deleted it. And it was talking about that somebody's going to come out soon. And it was before the Cappy thing. I was like, I didn't think anything of it. And I was covering like this kind of stuff before that. So I don't know if they were like, oh, he's going to go after the true stuff. Who knows? I had like 40 subscribers, but somebody thought it was interesting enough or good enough or not good enough so people can think that I just started and I just stumbled up upon this. But there was a lot of weird stuff that was going on then. And I get those messages too. But now I trust this select little circle, which is Unirach, Dodger, Roosevelt, Dead Game, or Dead GPK, Skull, and all the mods. Nana, Kristen, Anna, and there's so many people that I say it's a little circle, but it's a big circle. But we all talk together and we clarify this stuff before we put stuff out, if you've noticed. everybody in the Discord. Glow I haven't talked to recently. So I know that y'all think a lot of y'all know this. Dang, Uni Rate, you're up early. So a lot of people know this, but my phone is basically broken. Like it gets text messages and calls sporadically. And it'll just all come in at once. Like I'll get like voicemails all at once. And text messages all at once. And notifications from Twitter all at once. And Discord stuff all at once throughout the day. And I know Glow said that she I don't know what, Glow's a dude, isn't it? Every time I think of Glow, I think of gorgeous ladies of wrestling that's on Netflix, so I think it's a girl. And so I haven't been able to get into that DM. But yeah, there's a select few people that I trust on the internet, which is kind of sucks because there's a lot of good people out there, but they get swayed very easily. And I rambled on probably for another 20 minutes, but just stay safe over Thanksgiving and Black Friday. Be careful with what you spend your money on. Be careful on Cyber Monday. Be careful where you put your stuff. Like me, I've had PayPal screw me over, and I don't think it's PayPal's fault. iTunes, Google, so iTunes is doing something very, very shady. And I talked to the bank, but I can't find out when it started. So they have these apps, and the apps, what they do is they'll say monthly plan $4, something like that. So I can create videos more easy, and less stress on me, because I have to. What I do is I send it to OneDrive. OneDrive sends it to my iPad. Then I do the editing on my iPad. Either upload it straight to YouTube, or I send it to OneDrive and send it over here so I can do the title and everything all at once. But so I have OneDrive, so I have Office, which is $6.99. That's all good. But the editing software for the videos, I am now using Loomis Touch, because it has story blocks that you can use, and it's like $20 to buy the product, but it's $9 to use the story blocks, which means that you have this giant amount of videos, titles, music that is yours to use. And so I have that. And then I was using other products for like intros, outros, and stuff like that. And they were doing where it said 1 month $4.99, and then I was getting charged $4.99 each week. And then it would be like a sum total of $20 a month. It would charge the $4.99 4 times a month, and then it would charge you $20 a month on top of that. This is separate. They would charge us $20 and the $4.99 4 times. And I can't, like, I've been doing videos since June or July. So probably August is when I started looking into all this stuff. And then Dropbox charged me when I talked to Dropbox, said that I wanted to cancel my subscription. They charged me for 3 more months. Spotify charged me for 3 months twice. Xbox charged me when I had an Xbox Gold card that I put everything on, so I shouldn't be getting charged by Xbox. They charged me once, twice, and a third time in 3 weeks, which was $10, $10, $10. Well, if you don't know, I don't have a job right now, about to have surgery. Disability stuff got screwed up. And since my phone doesn't work, I've been trying to get a hold of them since June. No, July. I've been trying to get a hold of them since July. But when you send paperwork off to the doctor, you got to pay for it, for them to process it. So, luckily I have a caring mother that has taken care of me through this hard part of my life. It's very stressful not knowing when you have money and then have to deal with this. So you're like, okay, do I go get a job? Well, I'm disabled. I haven't even been released by my doctor from my original surgery 2 years ago. They won't release me. So I can't go back to my old job. They fired me. But as soon as I'm healthy, they'll hire me back. But I probably can't go back into that field because the nerve damage that I have in my hand. I probably will, as soon as all this clears up, I'll start working out again and get everything built back up. And that's the only time I will look at a physical job again, if I don't find something that I love. Because you make more money, sucks on your body, yes. But if I build myself up, I shouldn't have a problem. So I had that. So I called, put a stop payment on it. Stop payment at the bank is $30 charge. I had like $70 in my account. And that's from doing stuff to help my mom out. She's doing me a favor by that. Giving me a little bit of money each week so that I can produce videos. Not go insane at the house, not being able to work, not being able to basically go out on dates or anything like that. Because who wants to date somebody? That's it. When you look at it, if you're a girl or a woman, why would you want to date somebody that's in my position? On potential, and that's it. And I started making videos because I was depressed and wanted to feel productive. And one of the last purchases I made was this computer that I got. Remember, my disability was not supposed to run out. They stopped it 2 months earlier than they were needing to have stuff sent to them. And I was going to buy a phone on my next paycheck. And then they stopped it. And because I still had another month after that to get them all the information, which would have been September, when I had to get everything to them again. And they showed up and they were like, okay, you have a week to contact us and get all this information. And I was waiting on my next paycheck so I could pay for the information from the doctor, which is like $75, $80, and never got it. So, but I've gone on forever. I gotta let the dogs out, go to the bathroom, and y'all have a good rest of the morning. Stay safe. Have a good Thanksgiving. Be safe on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Peace. Love y'all.